It's interesting to see the way that a lot of the audience has reacted to people like Ethan is Online, people like Lewis McClung, people like Jake Doolittle, Jake Weddle, Nick is Not Green. A lot of different commentary YouTubers that have gotten brutally shit on within the last year or two, I would say. And all kind of fall into the same category of person. They all kind of look the same, act the same, think the same. Many of them make false allegations as well, which is, you know, I guess it's good content, but ultimately it's like very harmful for the world, so I really wish they wouldn't do that. And it seems like now the audience and some of their fans are waking up to how bad they are and making videos about it. And I personally enjoy that quite a bit.
Because then he showed the evidence, and I exit out of the video. I exit out of the video and
Base!
There's no way.
Base, dude! So today we're going to take a look at one example from one young female commentary creator who decided to weigh in on this situation and randomly got 250,000 views on her first video talking about them. It's awesome. Enjoy. So I saw an interesting video I wanted to take a look at, and it seems to be covering a lot of the stuff that I have covered on this channel, as well as on the Tom Dark channel, and I thought it'd be interesting. Now, this video is titled, My Issue with Those YouTubers. Despite the red bar, I actually have not seen this video yet. And here we have Jake Doolittle, Nick is Not Green, Ethan is Online, and Lewis McClung. And apparently this is their first video. And their video got 250,000 views in 9 days. So this seems to be hitting on a sentiment that a lot of people have been feeling about these sort of YouTubers. So I thought it would be interesting to take a look at it and see what's going on here.
I'm sorry for any harm I caused by spreading my ideas as fact.
Jake Doolittle.
My last video sucked.
Nick is Not Green.
But more specifically with a series of videos I made regarding Super Mega.
And Ethan is Online.
Hey, it's been a while since you saw.
Yeah, Ethan never apologized. That's why there's no apology video for Ethan. Because Ethan doesn't feel bad. Ethan is Online. The reason I haven't really talked about the anti-Ox shooter thing is to not give this freak attention, because that's clearly what he wants. But Ethan is Online apparently tried to argue that I am somehow responsible for a school shooting recently, which is great. But yeah, essentially, you know, these people are all scumbags. But yeah, I'm not trying to give that guy attention right now, because that's what he wants. I may cover some of what's happened in that situation at some point, but yeah, essentially this schizophrenic guy named Mr. Beast, Candace Owens, and a few other people in his manifesto, and I was one of them. But yeah, anyhow, that's what the latest Ethan update was then.
It's on my face.
What do these people have in common?
At the time of recording, I know that Ethan is Online. Eden Riley count as trans. She goes by she, her now, so please respect that even if she isn't the best person. So please ignore me saying he, him.
Now, the title may be My Issue with Feminist YouTubers or something along those lines, but it's not necessarily that they're feminist. It's the fact that they say one thing and they do the complete opposite. Like, how hard is it to be a good person, guys? These people were able to find a community where they would show that they, a male, was able to relate to women, were able to empathize.
Is that actually their microphone? Is that an eraser or is that actually their microphone? Is that real?
And kind of catered to what girlies want. But my issue...
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, there's a demographic of women out there who are desperate for a man that they can latch onto online, that they can watch, that will affirm their preconceived notions about the world, right? There are women... I mean, this is reflected in dating as well, but this is also reflected on YouTube, where there's a demographic of women who want to watch a commentary channel. They don't want to watch an edgy guy because they're like, oh, he's so edgy. He says these words. I'm going to go watch Ethan is Online instead, or I'm going to go watch Nick is Not Green. And what they find is that these people wear feminism and progressive politics as an aesthetic. In reality, Nick is Not Green at the peak of his whatever he was up to. Lewis McClung at the peak of, I mean, right now he's kind of at a peak, right? These people's entire, consciously or not, their entire modus operandi, their mission objective on YouTube is to masquerade as somebody pushing progressive politics while using that as an excuse to bully people, right? It's called woke fishing. And I mean, that's like the cringiest term I've ever heard in my life, but that is essentially what it is, right? They act, quote, I don't even like the term woke, but they act very understanding of women's issues. They understand feminism and culture and the patriarchy and, you know, whatever buzzword you want to throw in, institutionalized racism. Like, they understand all this stuff so much, right? But they never actually do anything to benefit those causes. They talk about YouTube drama, which in and of itself is relatively pointless most of the time and is not doing anything for anyone. And they use this ideology to bully people. In the case of Ethan is online and Nick is not green, Nick uses to bully Gus Johnson, okay, to try to get him canceled. Nick uses it to go after Super Mega, as did Ethan. In the case of Louis McClung, he uses it to go after Dream. He uses it to go after Denki Jabot. He uses it to go after Blake Lively. He uses it to go after Dave Grohl. And it's funny that I'm even saying all these people in the same sentence, but I've covered this on my channel on how these people spread false allegations and act entitled. That is the entire meme, okay? They cry about aesthetics. Like, Louis McClung will cry about you saying retard, and the next day he will slander you and call you a file. That is how these people work. And that's part of why it's so frustrating to see the audience latch onto them, because it's so transparent. And I just have to be wondering, like, how can you as an audience member be so easily fooled by a guy with a weak mustache that blows a fan on his hair to make it blow behind his head? Also, I have a weak mustache. I'm a hypocrite. I'm odd. But still, like, it is insane the way that these people latch onto these commentary YouTubers who are so clearly using their political ideology as a mask so they can bully people. You are wrong. I think you will find Louis was trying to masquerade as a pirate. That's true.
The issue here is, like I said, doing one thing and doing another. Like, for our first sample, Louis McClung. A very interesting YouTuber who would have his fan on and blow hair in the wind. He has recently gotten under fire with Cataclysm for attacking this other YouTuber called Denki Jabot. When I first saw this video uploaded, I was curious because I've never seen Cataclysm's video on Denki Jabot, but I was like, you know what? What's the issue?
I wonder if when she watched this video, she smelled the bullshit right away, or if she agreed with it until Denki Jabot responded. Because it is amazing to me to see so many people in the audience like, oh my god, Denki Jabot is a horrible person. Louis totally exposed him. When the video he made about Denki Jabot was so bad and had like nothing in it, like it had no evidence. He made the most insane asinine points in the world. So the fact that people watched that video and were somehow convinced by it, like, you are a victim of your own stupidity, these people. So if you somehow like agree with that video off the bat, like maybe you just weren't paying attention, and like I get that, like not every person is a fucking, drama obsessed spurg who's like reading all this stuff every day, and it's like it's not everyone's job, so I get it to an extent, but like the video was so blatantly full of such false bullshit that it was like hard for me to understand how anyone could watch it and come away with the opinion that Denki Jabot is a bad person or that Louis McClung is a good person. Yeah, exactly. He made up the thing he accused him of. Denki's own people were crucifying him in his comments. I saw it. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, how did those people get convinced in the first place? Like, this is not just a problem with the YouTubers. This is a problem of the audience too.
And then I saw the points he brought up.
The accusations against Denki Jabot, aka Jesse, go as follows. Lying to your audience, using hateful, derogatory speech towards women, silencing those who are against you, and lying to and manipulating your audience.
And man, oh man. I thought he was joking. The statement he made that Denki Jabot is racist, sexist, like misogynistic, and lied to his audience was really funny, because then he showed the evidence and I exited out of the video. And unsubscribed.
Base!
There's no way
Base,
you want to
dude!
believe that this is real.
You
I am
won!
not stupid. Alas, a video like 2 days later, Denki
The annoying orange thing, dude. Thank God someone realized it. Thank God at least one person in Louis's audience watched it and was like, dude, this is fucking retarded. Like, how is this real? Like, the annoying orange thing was like, the annoying orange thing was so stupid, dude. Like, I still can't believe that Louis McClung saw the annoying orange thing and was like, this is my strongest piece of evidence against Denki Jabot. Like, it's actually unreal. When the fans started, I couldn't, when the fans started, you couldn't take it? Crazy, dude. Crazy.
Jabot came out and was like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. You guys are liars. And I was like, yeah, this could have been solved in private. I'm editing the video right now.
It's not even just that it could have been solved in private. Like, there was nothing to solve in private. Like, literally all Denki Jabot did was respond to someone on Instagram and like, somebody was like, dude, why do you still follow I'm Alex? And he made a joke about the annoying orange. That pissed people off to the point that they needed to spurg about him endlessly. Like, there was nothing to say. It was literally just somebody said, why do you still support abusers? He was like, I'm so sorry for following the annoying orange. And they're like, oh my God, you support abusers. You support a rapist. You support a guy who beats women. Oh my God, you follow I'm Alex. You're so much for them. And he was like, that's it. That's all. That's literally all there was. That was the extent of it. That should not have caused any kind of private dispute. There was nothing to settle.
And I say that this could have been solved in private. I know, guys. I know that Cataclysm and Lewis were actually really strict about not solving it in private. Like, Lewis DM'd him a day before Christmas, or but a day before holidays. And Cataclysm, like, recorded their conversation. Weird behavior. But yes, I am aware that although it could have been solved in private, two of these people, Cataclysm and Lewis, apparently did not want to. But you know, internet people can't keep controversy in private because all gotta make money somehow. And it's crazy.
The thing about it that's so weird though is like when you're in like one of these delusions and you're making like slanderous claims about someone, I guess like the idea of it being delusional negates the fact that they could like have self-awareness about it. But like I feel like they should have just come to their senses much earlier and been like, okay, this is going to negatively hurt my career. This is going to go very badly for me. I'm going to lose subscribers. I'm going to lose viewers if I make a completely schizophrenic video. But it makes me think that Cataclysm and Lewis McClung have been getting away with making videos accusing people of things with no evidence for a long time. And in Lewis McClung's case, I was right. In Cataclysm, I haven't watched a lot of her videos, so I just don't know. I feel like she got let off kind of easy in that drama a little bit, but it makes me think that like they have a habit of making videos like that, and this is the one time they got bit in the ass. Count Sloppy Love for 5 says, grandstanding and dogpiling on something seemingly low risk and pandering to popular audience stances is an easy way to get a thoughtless loser audience, I guess. Yeah, I mean, of course that is the case. Obviously that is the case. I guess it's just disappointing that is how it works.
Crazy because before Lewis apology, he did a live stream, which I didn't fully watch. I only watched, I think, like 30 minutes of it. And
I don't really blame you. I didn't watch the whole thing. I just couldn't sit through it. The Lewis McClung live stream, he responded to, he was talking to Papa Gut. That's where he said the thing about, well, sorry, there was a Papa Gut one. Then she's probably talking about his personal live stream that he did. Talking about the Danky Jabba video, reacting to it live, which is, by the way, a horrible idea. Horrible idea. But that's where he said, I'm friends with a lot of women. I'm actually friends with a lot of women, so I understand asexuality. Which I think is like, that clip is like the perfect crux to summarize these kinds of people.
at least from what I've read, I can't say for sure, but at least from what I've seen, it was a mess. He was basically deflecting, victim blaming, and basically throwing a tantrum. I did watch his apology though. It was decent, but it did feel like well, guess I have to apologize. And
yeah, and he did it the next day. The thing is, like, Lewis McClung apologized, and they did the exact same thing the same fucking day, right? Like, literally the video after what initially happened was the fucking Dream video. It was horrible. It was horrible.
for some reason, this is a common occurrence in all 4.
The live stream he got cooked was peak. Do you mean the live stream where he was watching the Danky Jabba video? Okay, Smaggle Daggle in my chat. I don't even know what you're talking about, but you're banned for being annoying forever. Goodbye.
These YouTubers, like, are they planning something? Because why is it that all 4 of these YouTubers have done a live stream or Instagram post, they double down, and then they apologize? Like, I don't understand. How hard is it? How hard is it to say, I'm sorry, guys? But apparently it's really hard.
The thing is, I feel like saying I'm sorry is not always enough. Like, I feel like just saying I'm sorry is not like you have to actually show and demonstrate that you've changed, right? Like, Lewis McClung did give an apology. Cataclysm gave an apology. I haven't been tapped in with Cataclysm's content. Maybe she's still doing the same thing. I don't know. But in regards to Lewis McClung, he literally did the same thing. Like, he made a whole video slandering Danky Jabbo, and he then did it again while talking about Dream. No research, no screenshots, no evidence provided. It was literally all just fucking cancer. So why would I believe that apology? Like, the apology is completely performative. And you can tell it's performative because it's performative in the same way that Lewis demands apologies from other people. Lewis's biggest problem with Dave Grohl was not that he cheated on his wife. His biggest problem was that he did not make a public statement about it to explain it to Lewis, as if Lewis deserves to know. Like, it's the worst aspects of progressivism. It's the worst aspects of parasocial relationships.
Our second sample of the day, and the second most recent event, Jake Doolittle. This guy. An absolute mad lad who posted every day for, I think, 2 years, which is a bad idea Everyone knows not to do it, even if it's profitable.
I mean, it's not necessarily a bad idea. I don't think that posting every day is necessarily a bad idea. I think the problem is if your process for making videos is slandering people and making dog shit. There are people who post every day. There are people who stream every day who are fine.
Because you're gonna get things wrong. You're gonna get things wrong. And he got things wrong. He got many things wrong. Of course, I wasn't an avid Jake Doolittle fan. I wasn't watching all his videos because as soon as he posted like 200 videos, 200 days straight, I was like, okay, I'm taking a break from this. I won't touch on the H3 podcast situation because I only know that Jake Doolittle accused him of lying about his health when he wasn't, and then said it's sexist for him to be joking about his health.
Oh, and just like Ethan, I also forgot to mention it affects.
It's interesting to see how, I mean, this video, this is like a no-name YouTuber, not to like shit on her, but this channel has 6,000 subscribers. This is their first video ever. Their first video on YouTube got 250,000 views in 9 days, right? Like, it seems like, to the fan base's credit, a lot of the audience is turning on him, right? A lot of the audience is turning on Louis McClung. Ethan is online. Nick is not green. Like, this has become like a consistent thing. And this is like a manifestation of that. Like, this is not like me making a video. Like, I'm happy if I get 250,000 views on a live stream clip. That's a good clip. I'm happy if I get 250,000 views on a lot of the stuff I do, right? She got 250K on a brand new channel. And all she had to do was put these people on the fucking title. Like, that is how bad it's getting for this kind of YouTuber, the kind of guy. You guys remember the kind of guy I talked about in the Ethan's Online video? Louis McClung falls into that. I looked up Ethan's Online and I meant Jake Doolittle. I always confuse these fuckers, dude. Hello, my name is Tom, and today we're going to talk about this guy. His name is Jake. Everyone say hi, Jake.
What's it like being 5'1"?
Now, Jake is a commentary. PewDiePie posted every day and never did anything wrong. Yeah, the thing is, like, it's just a cope. It's just a fucking cope. Free channel on YouTube, a guy who calls out other people for their misdeeds. But Jake is not just like any other commentary channel, no. Instead, he's a part of a very specific race of commentary creators, a specific phenotype. Like, when this first happened, I kind of thought it was like overrated to even say this. Like, I thought it was like such a joke to even like group all these people together. But there are so many of them that are just like this. Like, there's so many.
Affects 90% women, being 2 to 3 times more prevalent.
We have mentioned that so many times. So many times.
He's obviously lying. This is a girly disease. This is for the girls only.
So, yeah. But I will talk about the disaster that he did blackmailing YouTubers.
And throughout this video, I'm not going to name names.
I like the animated version a lot better than the real video. A lot more aesthetically pleasing, I'll say that.
But I would like you to know that I am going to name names at some point.
Like, what is in the water that makes this kind of person exist? Like, there's so many people like this that exist. Jake Doolittle, Jake Weddle, Ethan is Online, Louis McClung, Nick is not green. I'm sure there's like 10 other examples I can think of right now.
Possibly next month or so, if my following up with these people amounts to nothing.
Huh. People are really getting bold now.
It's the
I saw
fluoride.
all the VODs
I guess.
and the videos, and I was like, this is crazy. To tell me in my face that you don't feel like you're getting enough support on your non-profit when people are actively supporting you. It may not be YouTubers, it may not be celebrities, but it is your fan base that's actively supporting you. And you tell me in my face that you're not getting any support, that's just disrespectful. That's so disrespectful. And the fact that you pass on the message that we should all be respectful and, you know, help when we can, and then basically get on YouTube and say, hey guys, YouTubers aren't giving me any money. My nonprofit's making no money. Like, yeah, we have enough funds for like a year, but...
That's the thing, it's all a shield. Like, obviously it's good to be a nice person, it's good to be respectful, I guess. Even aesthetically, it can be a good thing. But it's all aesthetics for these people. It's all aesthetics. They wear the shield of progressivism, of being a nice guy, of being like, once again, like a soft-featured, nice, wholesome boy, wholesome chungus. So they wear that on their sleeve so that they can then make content where they bully people. In the case of Ethan is Online and Nick is not green. Nick is not green had various false allegation scandals before Super Mega. That was just the first time people realized it, right? Ethan is Online does the same thing when he goes after Alex Rosen. And his entire criticism of Alex Rosen is not, you hunt pedophiles badly. It's, you are right wing, right? Then you have, for example, Louis McClung, who in the name of social justice and activism tries to cancel Danky Jabo for doing nothing, for making a joke about the annoying orange. Like, Louis McClung was critical of the annoying orange joke in the same video where he made a joke about victims in Hollywood and implied that they wanted it. Like, these people are complete hypocrites. But, like, there's so many of them. Like, there has to be something going on. Only a mustache, mullet, glasses, bum fit, bad take, base. That's me, though. That's me without the glasses.
I'm not getting any money. What is wrong with you? And then to say, you have T-minus 1 month to give me money or I will blackmail you to other YouTubers.
Like, this video so easily got 250,000 views. As someone who used to watch all 4 channels, just tiring. Things seem fine at first, but slowly you start feeling uncomfortable watching them, then you realize why. I feel like it was obvious. It's pretty ironic that I watch these 4 as background noise while genuinely watching Danny Gonzalez, Drew Gooden, Curtis Connor, Chad Shad, and Funky Frog wait for their personality. Yeah, these guys are all like the second-rate version of those bigger YouTubers, basically. Thank God I found a video criticizing these YouTubers that doesn't include misgendering or insulting these people by their looks. I'm disappointed in Lewis, but I don't like the critics who are making it more about his fashion when the main issue is how he nearly ruined someone's life. That's not even ever made to be the main issue. If you think that's the main issue, then that's a you problem. That has always been an aesthetic thing to make fun of. I never would have made any video about Louis McClung if he hadn't done what he did. I totally agree with you. I actually started watching Louis videos because of his fashion. I don't trust any channel that uploads daily that's not a YouTuber that's a content farm. True, dude. True. This is high effort, though.
Is insane. And then making a live stream in the hospital saying, guys, I'm in the hospital, but
I'm included in a lot of those groups these people champion, and it's clearly pandering and it's exhausting. Well, yeah, because these people recognize there's a market that's been created for non-binary children on the internet to watch their videos, and they profit off of that. They squeeze them dry.
I don't think I did anything wrong.
Yeah, and you know what sucks is like every single time that like there's a health thing going on, I'll post like a random thing, and then that's what will get me in trouble, you know?
Different background because I wasn't satisfied with the first clip, but what do you mean by saying whenever my health declines, like when I have a health issue, I post a stupid video and that's what gets me in trouble? Brother, do you not know what you posted? You blackmailed your friends.
True.
No wonder why.
I do wish she included more clips here, though. I mean, I don't think she's done anything entirely wrong, but I do wish more clips were included in this video, to be honest. Although I get it's more of like a ranty format, but you know, when people make a video with no sources and no clips, I typically am kind of turned off.
These YouTubers are unfollowing you and not answering you. Why would they? And the fact that then in the updated response, he was like, yeah, my fiance was texting me to stop and you didn't listen to her? Brother, my guy, you should have. Because all this wouldn't have happened if you weren't stupid. Our third case in point is Mr. Ethan is online and Nick is not green, which
I bet Ethan's mad about this one, dude.
I
bet Ethan doesn't like this.
Include both.
Not having a good time.
Because like they were twins in the beginning until Ethan was like, no, Nick, don't blame me. And then they stopped being friends. And of course, I won't talk too much into this because like everyone knows the situation. But in my perspective, why lie about something that's so easily disproven? I don't understand why YouTubers do that, where they're like, no.
I think that they get deluded, they get personally invested, and they stop seeing reality for what it is, right? Like, Nick himself even said it. He was like, this isn't a YouTube drama. This is me defending my friend. And, like, on one hand, if you're defending your friend, that is a very like, noble thing, and that can be a champion. But the problem comes when you're defending your friend publicly and you do a very bad job at it. Like, by doing that, you actually are only hurting your friend more than helping them. Because if the evidence isn't on your side and you make a video and then you get blown out, you only draw attention to the fact that they lied. It's not really going to help things out.
I didn't manipulate you when I was 20 and you were 16. And then it comes out that you were a pretty garbage person to that 16-year-old. But, I mean, they still do it. They still try. They still try. And you know what? You got us. You got us. You got us. Because at least for me, I remember watching all these videos and watching it go down. And I was like, man, this YouTube group that I don't remember the name of is really bad. Like, why would they hide SA? Why would they hide, like, the situation? And then it turns out...
You got to keep your objectivity. Yeah. Like, I feel like a lot of people say, like, oh, these guys are so biased. They're so biased. Like, I don't think bias is an inherent problem. Like, you can obviously tell when I go into a situation sometimes I have an inherent dislike of someone. Maybe it's just because of how they look. Maybe it's because of how they talk. Maybe it's their aesthetics. Like, there are, like, inherent biases we all have as people where you don't like someone. But the problem is when you let those biases bleed over into actual slander, right? The problem is when you let those biases bleed over into actually falsely accusing someone. That is the issue. Like, if you can have a bias, but as long as you objectively analyze the facts and evidence presented before you, you're going to be okay. Like, you're going to be fine. It's going to be all right.
It's out that, like, the girly pop was like, I don't want it to go public.
Like, there's multiple videos I've made where I'm like, dude, Dream is fucking cringe, but he didn't do anything wrong here, right? Like, you have to not be so invested in internet events that you have a preconceived notion of what the situation is before you're familiar with all the evidence, basically. And it's not that difficult. It's honestly not that difficult to do. You know, it's not the most difficult thing. It's like, I feel like that should be the bare minimum that people do on YouTube.
But then to ask your friend, not you yourself, you ask your friend to post it, aka Nick is not green, and then let him get all the backlash. What was your plan, man?
In fairness, at that point, what is Ethan going to say? Like, Ethan either has to acknowledge that he's wrong, or Ethan has to make a video defending himself where he looks even more retarded, right? Nick is not green made his own decisions. He's his own person. Was Ethan somewhat cowardly? I mean, maybe. But ultimately, you know, he was somewhat Machiavellian about it. He probably did the best thing for his career, you know? Nothing ever happens. Sometimes stuff happens, but not today. You don't measure up to my imaginary level of moral purity, therefore you're irredeemable. But it's not even like the imaginary level of moral purity, because the problem is not like the morals that they're applying. The problem is not like the ethics they're applying to a situation. The problem is that they are not telling the truth. Like, I feel like there is probably inherent virtue in telling the truth, generally. I feel like there is generally virtue in doing that, right? I feel like it's a good thing. The truth being out there, if everybody was honest, we feel like we'd have a much easier time in the world. But because we're people, we're not entirely honest. And I'm definitely not entirely honest. There's definitely been things that I've fucked up. Definitely been things that I've definitely intentionally lied throughout my life. Like, there's been times that I've done that for sure. There's no doubt. So I don't expect everyone to be perfect. But the problem is, like, these motivations in a media sense influence other people to believe things that are not true, right? So when you combine an allegation with the public discourse, there can be a lot of problems that occur as a result of that. Like, you already have to deal with the fact that a lot of the audience is fucking dumb, right? And isn't willing to look into these things themselves. Then the problem compounds when the narrator is unreliable.
Well, what was it? And for Nick is not green to be like, it's not my fault.
How do we as viewers know if you're skewing our perspectives on these breadtubers unintentionally? Of course. I mean, just go watch their content and see if you think I'm wrong. Like, you can just do that. It's not hard. This is a literal sense of don't judge a book by its cover. If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, we still need to know it's definitely a duck. Yeah, of course. Like, just because someone says I'm a good person does not mean you should inherently think, okay, they're a good person. Like, one of the weirdest things that I see is, like, when Louis McClung was like, I'm a good guy with no skeletons in my closet. I was like, what? Are you sure? Like, why even feel the need to say that?
I mean, yeah, I shouldn't have done the video, but it's, like, not my fault. It's like, dude. Be better. How about be better? As you can see, with all 4 of these situations.
Okay, I come to the conclusion that this is not a microphone and this is, in fact, a pencil with an eraser on it.
Or 3. What is...
You see Ethan is online saying you inspire the shooter while ignoring Hassan being named too. Yeah, of course I saw that.
a common factor? That every single one didn't take accountability. They only took accountability once they saw that their subscriber count was falling. They were losing money. And that's when they were like, oh shoot, I gotta fix it. Hey guys.
What is this?
I truly apologize for what I did.
When you say it's true, that means it's real.
I won't specify what I did, but I did do something, and I truly regret it. I hope that all
I'm sorry for the non-specific thing that I did.
500,000 of you don't unsubscribe, because I still need money. And here's a link to my merch. Yeah, so I'm really sorry for lying to you guys. But I didn't lie. My friend told me to do it. But I'm really sorry. I should have been more strict.
I think you get the idea. The broader point to this is, even outside of this video, the specifics of it is just interesting to see that there are people from their audiences growing disenfranchised with these like creators, basically, right? Like, that is very interesting to me to see that happening. It's too bad, but it is what it is, you know? And I don't know. Ultimately, it's probably not worth getting too worked up over. I know sometimes I do crash out on stream when I'm watching these people, but you know, that's probably not a virtuous thing to be honest. It's probably for the best to not get mad and just be like, this guy sucks. And that's it. Just move on, you know? He's not going to get emotionally invested, but I guess sometimes when I just see someone saying something so confidently wrong, it's just, like, upsetting to me. Like, people who just pretend to know what they're talking about and say it so flippantly and then act like they did the research. It's just, like, very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Yeah. Tom's crash out during the McClung videos were legendary. Brings a tear to my eye. It was just so annoying to watch him continually make the same mistake over and over and over again. It's like, you can't save that guy from himself. You literally cannot.
Bitch, I'm Tom Dart, but my dick is quite light. And this girl that's on my dick, she is not quite white. She's black. You can twist it up and play with it. Whoa. Make a motherfucking movie, Michael Bay with it. Whoa. Gotta promise you not dealing with a baby dick. No. There's a big white cop in your radius.